watch it. Guys, I watched Eternals yesterday. Man, that movie's fucking awful. That's probably the worst Marvel movie I've ever watched. I didn't care about any of the characters. The plot was like, I don't know. I just like, yeah, it was not like the cool thing was about it was like it gives you some like lore on like the larger I guess like I don't even know how to describe it. The larger like Marvel universe stuff, like it gives you some like lore information, which was cool. But in general, it was like not very good. Here. I didn't really like the characters. Richard Madden's character was like super stupid and like over the top. And then all the other characters were kind of annoying and like whiny. I don't know. And then like half of them just die like really quick. I don't know. Everyone like none of the characters I really connected with. They all just were kind of like annoying and whiny for like being super powered heroes. Back. I don't know. It was, I mean, yeah, sure, it's pretty. And like the actual like Celestials part is cool because like that's a cool part of like the Marvel lore. But as far as like a good Marvel movie where I care, like it just, yeah, it wasn't it wasn't it. Back. I don't know if you guys have watched it. I also have I mean, I watched Spider-Man. I enjoyed the new Spider-Man, but like I kind of knew everything. I don't know if I'm getting like I'm growing out of it. Like I've been watching all the Marvel movies. I watched Venom, like all that stuff. I don't know if like I'm less interested. Like I still watch them. Like me and my buddy Andrew, one of my best friends, we have this thing where like we go to all the movies. Like we've been watching the Marvel movies since Iron Man together, and so now anytime there's a Marvel movie, we're like, hey, like so and so's coming out. One of us will get tickets. We just go together. It's like kind of like a thing that we have. But like more and more, I'm feeling like I just don't care that much. Also, speaking of awful things, guys, I'm trying really hard to like the Book of Boba Fett. It's not very good. I don't know if you guys have watched the Book of Boba Fett, but like the second episode was okay, but like I don't know if it's like the production value. Well, some of it is production value and kind of like just set design. Some of it feels like some of the sets feel and like the characters feel really out of place. Like the last episode, there's literally like Power Rangers, and then like there's the story isn't good. Like there's some good parts to the story. For instance, like, and I'm gonna give spoilers here, so if you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, tune the fuck off. Yeah, like the Bubba's like flashbacks, all the flashback stuff is cool because it's like interesting and it kind of gives you some yeah, I don't know. This is my point. So just a perfect example, Kambobo, is like for all of that time up until he took over Jabba's palace, he had no Bacta tank. Now all of a sudden he's like jacked in the Bacta tank 24/7. So why is he such a like Bacta tank fiend, you know? The other thing is like, what is his objective? He was such a badass in Mandalorian. Like he just came in and just killed all these people, and now he's like this like soft, and he makes decisions that make no sense. Like why would he give, in the last episode he gives a bunch of like random street kids jobs that he's never met or does know nothing about. He just like walks up to them and he's like, oh, you guys are kind of lippy, here's some jobs in my palace, I'm gonna trust you with my life. Like who are these kids? And they're supposed to be poor, but they have fucking like Vespa, they have like Vespas, like speeders, right? Like they don't look like they're from Tatooine. They look like they're from like fucking Naboo. You know what I'm saying? The thing I like about it, and this is like, I love Star Wars. Like I have a Yoda poster. I have Star Wars tattoos on my arm. Like I like Star Wars. The thing I like about Book of Boba Fett, and this is like the one part, is like it's Star Wars, which means there's parts of it and there's like lore in the Star Wars universe that I learn about, and I enjoy that. Like I enjoy learning more about the different crime syndicates. I enjoy learning about like Rancors and how they like bond to people. And I could give you a really good example. In Book of Boba Fett, episode 3, this is the cool part about where the background can really like change how you view Star Wars as a whole. There's a part where they basically explain, they're like, Rancors, it's kind of like a stupid thing when you think about it. I'm like, why would they do that? But Rancors apparently bond with like humans, their first human that they see as babies, right? They bond like almost like they attach to them, right? And that's cool in and of itself, because I didn't know that. That's like a new lore piece. But what it also does is when you go watch Return of the Jedi now, and that like fat dude is like crying when the Rancor dies, it like changes how you view that scene, because you realize that that was the human that was bonded to the Rancor. And that's why that human, that the trainer, is so upset about it. And like, that's a cool part of it, right? That's cool that it like changes a little bit about something that you've already seen. That's like that scene from Return of the Jedi, like it kind of changes the context of that, and you're like, oh, I see. It's not just like a fat guy that's upset. You understand that they had this bond, this connection, and now that's really cool. Now like the way that they're able to do that, that's really cool. What's not cool is like bad storytelling. What's not cool is like poor writing, right? And it definitely suffers from a lot of that. And like, I don't know if it's like, there's 4 episodes left. I don't know if this is going to be like just like a compact thing, or if it's like going to be something where there's going to be like season 2 or season 3. I'm not sure because they haven't really announced it. But like so far, I would rate it like I hope the Obi-Wan series is better, because I've been looking forward to Obi-Wan forever. And if this is the quality of writing in the Obi-Wan series, I'm going to be very disappointed. Things just seem to happen randomly for no particular reason. Kemba, I'm not sure about the so the Wookiee, he's actually from the comics. He's like a character from the comics. But like, yeah, perfect example is like, how does this Boba Fett has Fennec Shan, 2 Gamorrean guards. He's got this protocol droid. He's got this street gang of like stupid kids he just hired, and somehow and he's in Jabba's palace, which basically has a giant, like in Return of the Jedi, C-3PO and R2-D2 literally have to go knock on this big door to get into Jabba's palace, right? But somehow this giant 18-foot Wookiee sneaks in while Boba Fett is vulnerable in the back to tank. You think that would be the time where he would have a guard posted, given all the death threats against him. But somehow during that scene, this giant Wookiee is able to just sneak in. Like, what's the point of all of that security and all that stuff if like the Wookiee, like, it would have been one thing if like the Wookiee like fought his way in, that would have been cool, or like something like that. But instead, and then he just lets him go at the end. It's like, okay. I don't mind the hut interaction because like I like the huts. Like huts are cool and like they're kind of, but it's like I wonder, and this is the other part that's silly. So they take this fucking floaty thing with the huts out to Jabba's palace. How far are they walking with that thing? Like I understand like when they're in the city, they're like getting carried around in this thing, but like, do they have a ship close by and they come off that and then they only like take that thing the last 20 feet? Because like, I assume these slaves didn't carry the huts across the Dune Sea and like the desert and all that stuff. Like they must have been pretty close by, right? Like yeah. So just like stuff like that, it really like it kind of ruins. I guess it ruins a little bit of it for me. Like me wanting to like it, but when the writing's really bad, it's really hard to like. Another like really silly thing is like the mayor. So like the mayor is supposed to be this big important dude that has all these connections. He runs the city, but he never hires guards. And every time Boba Fett just walks right into his little thing, and he has no security except this like incompetent like Twi'lek dude. Like, why don't you have a single piece of security at your, like, if that's how easy it is to just kill the mayor, you'd think he'd be dead already, right? We're talking about Mos Espa, which is, and Tatooine, which is supposed to be like run by crime lords, right? Apparently it's not. It's like it's supposed to be lawless. It's like in the Outer Rim. It's in like the shitty parts of the galaxy. Like, people are like, violence is probably the norm there, and like, but like people just walk around and into like the mayor's shop like it's just a fucking kebab shop, and roll into his office, and then the Twi'lek guy, like, dude, we know where you work. Where are you going? Like, you're gonna get in a speeder. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get in a speeder, run around the city like fucking Back to the Future, right? I'm surprised he just didn't run into a bantha manure like Biff Tannen from fucking Back to the Future. You're gonna speed around the city, crash in this stupid chase scene, but then like, what do you, dude? It's only Thursday. Don't you have to go to work tomorrow? We're gonna know where you are. Like, it's not like you're flying to the spaceport and you're escaping and you're never coming back. You literally work for the mayor. So like, where does he think he's escaping to? Like, we know that you ran. We'll just come back tomorrow because we know where you're gonna be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the chase doesn't even make sense why he would run. Like, it's not that the chase scene was bad, but why would he even run? Like, what is he hoping to achieve by that? Right? To get off planet forever? And then in the end, he answers the questions anyways. Like, it's just, yeah. I don't love the writing. And yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on it, I guess. We'll see. Like, here's the thing with limited series like this, I always like to judge them on the final, I guess, product. So I'm gonna reserve like final judgment until I look at the series as a whole. But for me, it's not off to a great start. I think the pacing of like how they're actually telling the story is a little bit off. Like, the first episode should have been, in my perspective, all of the Sand People stuff, like before he comes back, should have just been in the first episode. That should have been like what the first episode is. And then at the end of that episode, it kind of catches you up with, say, like him arriving back to Tatooine or whatever. Tatooine, or however he says it. So that's kind of, I don't know. It just feels like some of the story plots, the characters are not acting believable. They're not acting like I thought they would act, right? Boba Fett doesn't act like one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. The guy that was smart enough to outsmart Han Solo and knew exactly where he was going to go in Empire Strikes Back. All of a sudden, he's like so dumb that like he gives a bunch of street rats. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Bunch of street rats like access to his palace and like full security and stuff. Like, yeah, I just not loving it, guys. Not loving it. I want to like it though. See, that's the thing. That's my problem, is as a Star Wars fan, I want to like it. It's just really hard to. I'm not one of those fans that like just like, and again, the things I like about it is like how it's like expanding on, like, I'm learning some lore bits about like Star Wars as a whole. So that's cool. But other than that, so far it's a bit of a dud. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Book Boba Fett. Yeah, so far Disney Plus, like, I don't know, like between Eternals and Book of Boba Fett, I haven't loved it. I enjoyed Hawkeye. I watched Hawkeye. I did enjoy it. I didn't actually like Haley Steinfeld for the first little bit. I thought she was like super annoying, but she grew on me. I'm definitely concerned now, given like the quality of Hawkeye. I'm concerned about the book Obi-Wan series. I just wish they would get away from like my biggest thing with Star Wars and the kind of what they've done with Star Wars is like I wish they would get away from like I wish they would grow the universe. Like I don't really care to learn more about like Yoda, baby young Yoda, or like I mean I'm excited for Obi-Wan, but like I don't want to know about Boba Fett. I want to learn about like other things that are happening in the galaxy, like whole new stories. Like they have the Andor series coming. They have like a bunch of other stuff coming, and it's like, can we learn about like something new? Like, or does it always have to be like prequels and requels and retellings and like reimaginings and stuff like that, you know? It just feels a little bit derivative and like repetitive. Personally. I don't know about you guys, but let me know your thoughts on Book Boba Fett. Yeah, that's not true, man. Succession is Speedy. I know you say poor writing is status quo. Succession is like, for example, of like that show is like amazing. I love that show. That's like great writing, right? Like, there's been some shows where like the writing's been like really good. There's definitely still good writing out there. I know. But the thing is, like, even with Mandalorian, and this is the thing, I actually really enjoyed Mandalorian, and they're made by the same people, so I'm like, why did their writing go so shit all of a sudden? You know? Like, it's not like it's a whole different team. It's literally the same people that wrote, it's like Filoni and Favreau, right? Everyone is hailing them as like the saviors of Star Wars, but it's like, I don't know. Mandalorian's pretty bad, guys. I don't know, man. I guess with Mandalorian, like, I didn't have expectations for the character, so that's different. With Book of Boba Fett, it's like I know who Boba Fett is, right? Or like there's ideas about who he is. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm never wrong, guys. Come on. Yeah, so that was my Eternal / Book of Boba Fett review, I guess. There's not much good on TV these days. I mean, after Witcher was really, I enjoyed Witcher, the season 2. That was like the other thing I like binged, I guess. I know a lot of people complain about it, but I'm enjoying it, and that's from someone that's like played the games and stuff. I haven't read the books. I tried reading the first book, but it's definitely you can definitely tell it's like written by like a Polish dude. It's like it's pretty like dry. But we'll see. What else am I looking forward to? Any shows?